Owned and operated at the corner of Grandview Avenue and Hauser and South Muscatine.
Welcome to Moving Forward, sponsored by MPW Mocklink TV and Mocklink Internet, online at mpw.org. Each weekday morning, our local talk segment brings you the people who are helping move our community forward. Let's start the show.
Good morning, your home in the country, AM 860 and FM 95.1 KWPC. I'm Jordan Davis. Thanks for joining us here this morning on a Friday. Thank goodness it's Friday, that's for sure. April 13th, we're glad to have you. It's Moving Forward here on the Voice of Muscatine. In the studio with me this morning, Amy Fortenbacher from Muscabus. How are you, Amy?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me this morning.
Well, we're very excited to talk to you because I've only recently just learned about Muscabus and what it is, what all you do. So let's start off. Let's get to know you a little bit. So, Amy, where are you coming from? Are you from here in Muscatine?
Yes, basically, we moved here when I was in 8th grade. So,
Okay.
I graduated from Muscatine High School and then went on to UNI. So I'm the transit supervisor for Muscabus. I've been in the position for just under a year now. So before that, I did work as a dispatcher there.
Oh, okay.
So I pretty much know the system.
That's kind of what got you interested in becoming what would you say your position was again?
I'm the transit supervisor.
I see.
For Muscabus. Yeah.
So what all falls underneath the transit supervisor's responsibilities?
Well, we have a staff of 25 people, so we have 22 drivers and 2 dispatchers, and then we also have a maintenance person that, fuels the buses in the evening. So, and with Muscabus, we have a route system where we have 4 different routes that do 30-minute loops every day, and from 6:30 in the morning until 5 at night, and then we have shuttle service too, where people can get picked up at their home, taken like to a doctor's appointment, and then we return them too.
Okay. For the shuttle services, what do people have to do to get signed up in order to get the times right? If they have a doctor's appointment or something like that.
They just need to call our office, which our number is 563-263-8152. And you talk to our dispatchers, and they will set you up with an appointment. You just let them know, when you have to be to the doctor, and then we set up a time to get you there on time. And then when you're done, usually, you don't know what time you're going to be done. So you just call back, and then we send a driver back to pick the person up and take them back to their home.
I see.
So,
Okay, well, that makes sense. And handicap accessible?
Yes,
the shuttle is?
All of our vehicles are.
All of them? Okay.
Yes, but our shuttles, we do ask that if you are in a wheelchair or a walker where you need the lift to get on the bus, where you can't walk up the steps, that you call for a ride on the shuttle.
I see.
So,
Just because does the shuttle have a lift ramp?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And then it takes a little longer, to do that. And so our route buses, they are accessible that way, but we do ask that you call for the shuttle.
It's just as simple as trying to keep a good time frame,
yes.
trying to keep to a schedule. So
exactly,
that little bit of extra time could kind of throw off a little bit. So if you ask for the shuttle, you're still going to get the same service. You're just setting up your specific time.
Yes, and you go to the specific place that you want to go.
Excellent.
So,
Well, that's great. So let's talk a little bit more about the services that Muscabus provides. So it's shuttles. There's the shuttle, then there's the transit, which is did I say that right?
The route buses.
The route buses.
Yeah,
the route buses.
That's okay.
So those are ones that are just they're on a constant loop through Muscatine. What's the route look like?
Yes. So we have 4 different routes. So we have a blue route that goes to the south end. It goes that way every hour, and then the opposite. I should start. They start at City Hall.
Oh,
so
okay.
Sorry about that.
No, that's okay.
And then that's kind of like our base or whatever.
Oh,
and
okay.
then so from every 30 minutes they'll go on their route and then come back to City Hall.
All right.
So the blue route goes to the south end of town, kind of at the bottom of the hour, and then like 6:30, 7:30, 8:30, and then at the top of the hour they'll go out more by the mall where they like up Park Avenue, and to MCC they'll go to the mall, and then they come back around downtown. And then we have the red route that starts as well at City Hall, and then it'll go kind of over by the mall a little bit up Grand Avenue, and then around on Lake Park Boulevard to the hospital, and then back downtown on Cedar Street. And then we have the yellow route that also starts at City Hall, and it goes more by the Y, out by Fairway. It will go out to the University of Iowa Clinic there, and then like to Crossroads and then back around downtown. And then our fourth route is the green route. And the blue and the red route will go to the mall and meet the green route. So the green route doesn't go down to City Hall, but it'll do kind of the area where Walmart, All Steel, Farm and Fleet, those areas.
Okay. Out there on kind of the north, I have to think about where I am in Muscatine.
Yeah, kind of the north end of town.
Yeah, the north end of town, yeah. So that's really cool. So how many buses exactly?
So our total fleet, we have 11 buses.
Wow.
Yeah, but we usually have 6 to 7 buses running at one time.
Because you run more than, so you have the four routes, the green, yellow, red, and blue.
Uh-huh.
So you've got those 4 routes, and then you may have a couple shuttles
and
running.
And then we have
well.
2 shuttles, and then we'll have like a shuttle assist usually to help if we have an overflow.
Just a high volume of people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, very cool.
And then we also have a night service that runs from 5:30 to midnight. It's called JARC, and it's for people going to and from work. And so that, I should have told you, the shuttle service, you have to call at least a day in advance.
Okay.
And you do have to meet ADA requirements where you're disabled in some way or over 65. But the JARC bus, the one at night, you don't have to be disabled at all. And you can call that day to get a ride in the evening, so to take you to work or home.
So you're a late night worker from you go into work somewhere between 5 to midnight, and let's say your car breaks down at you got to be there by 6. It breaks down at 5. You can call right then and get the shuttle.
Yeah, well, you'd have to call a little before 5 just because our office closes at 5.
Oh, I got you. I see. Yeah. So a little bit earlier in the day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in order to be able to take advantage of that, you need to call during their office hours in order to get somebody.
Yes.
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's really cool. So I had no idea that there was an after a later in the day one.
Yeah.
I figured I've seen them running around town during the day, but I've never seen one at night, which I guess I'm normally in bed before it gets too late. But yeah. Okay, well that's really cool. So that's all part of Muscabus. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say that the JARC bus runs Monday through Saturday. We don't have any service on Sundays.
Okay.
And then we do the other buses run Monday through Friday, 6:30 to 5 p.m. But they do run on Saturday from 8:30 to 4.
Okay, so just since it's not the normal part of the work week, it's more of a weekend shift. I see.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I see. Okay, so some of the stuff for Muscabus now, what do the drivers look like? Are they what's the selection process for a driver look like?
Like when we're hiring for a driver? Well, it would be nice, ideally, if they have their CDL. It's become a little bit more difficult to get your CDL in the state of Iowa, but it's not impossible. And then also, if you were to have experience with people that have disabilities, we do transport quite a few people with disabilities, or that in many different type of disabilities. And just if you like working with the public, that is a big thing.
And
right
I asked that just because I want people to know, who it is that Muscabus, who they'd be traveling with,
Right.
So clearly you guys take into consideration all the things that dealing with the public would help, or helping with disabled people, or just having that CDL, which it is difficult to get those. I remember I was looking at some of that a while back to see what all it took. In Illinois, it's difficult too. They've got I think now to get your CDL, don't you have to parallel park an 18-wheeler with a semi attached, or with a tractor trailer attached, if I remember correctly.
For the Muscabus, we don't have to do that.
Okay.
We have a light duty bus, so we just use one of our buses for the testing.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
So you don't have to get the air brake endorsement.
I see. I see. That's really cool. So this Muscabus is a great service right here in Muscatine. Now, when did it get started? Has it been a while?
It's been quite a while.
It's been quite a
yes,
while.
I'm sorry, I don't know that.
That's all right. I asked just because out of my curiosity, because I haven't seen a whole lot of. I remember learning a little bit about Muscabus when I first came in here, and then I've seen the bus all over the place. But of course, I don't know which one's which. Is there like a sticker on any of them to say which line they are?
No, there is a sign that's up above the driver that you should be able to see in the front that tells you what color it is, or if it's a shuttle. And then there's also a sign on the side of it as well, the passenger side.
Okay. Now, is there a way for people to check what the routes look like if that way they know which bus they want to get on for?
Yeah, so they can always go to City Hall and talk to the drivers that are down there, or they can call dispatch, which is the easiest, and just ask, tell them I'm at this location, what bus should I take? And they'll tell them, and they'll tell them the time, they need to be waiting for the bus too.
That's incredibly helpful.
So,
That's really nice to be able to
Yeah.
just call in and get that information.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess another question I just had. You mentioned before when we'd been speaking back and forth about you having coming in, there was something about Google Maps or Apple.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I'll let you talk a little bit about
Okay.
that. Is that something new? And
Yes.
what is it really? What's the premise of it?
Okay, so the state of Iowa funded a program for rural providers of public transportation like us to be able to have our services, our routes put on Google Maps. So
Okay.
if you want to figure out, how to get from one place to another, you can go on Google Maps and it'll tell you, how you can drive there, walk there, and now you can have public transit as well.
Oh,
for the
so there's
city
a
of
little
Muscatine.
tab for it where you'll be able to like those little tabs where it shows the walk symbol or
Yes.
the drive or whatever.
Yeah.
The public transportation. That's really
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah, so and it shows you how, where you need to switch buses to get to different locations.
I see.
And so, yeah, it's a really nice feature.
That is really cool, and that's something that the state of Iowa is doing.
Yes, the DOT for the state of Iowa has funded all of that, and we are one of the first ones that actually got up and going
Wow.
with it. So it's pretty nice.
That's really cool. That's
Mhm.
kind of that's not really something you'd think about as being able to get on and see your local public transportation routes and figuring out which one you got to take. So if they aren't able to call, they can always call dispatch, of course. But if they wanted
Yes.
to, they're just planning out their day ahead of time, they can get on Google Maps and look it up. So that's a lot of fun. That's really cool. Thanks so much for coming on and sharing with us, Amy. We really appreciate having you on. Is there anything else you'd like to share? I certainly don't want to cut you off.
That's okay. Yeah, I just was going to let you know that my husband and I are also co-chairs for CAPE, and I know you
right.
just
That's
did
right.
CAPE
Yes.
yesterday.
Yes, we did.
And I just wanted to thank all of the restaurants in town and all of the people that have donated to CAPE, because that's what really makes it go. And
Because
so,
we talked a little bit yesterday with the students, Tess and Lex.
yes.
We had on. They mentioned that there were sponsors for a lot of the booths and the stations and the tables, that kind of stuff. So, and those are all that's all part of the community, from the community.
Yes. So we've gotten lots of donations from the community, especially like restaurants in town that have donated gift certificates for the kids to win. So all the prizes is with money that's been donated.
Okay.
So
Well, that's
yeah.
really cool. So, and CAPE, we talked about CAPE a lot yesterday. CAPE sounds like a really fun program.
Yeah,
I mean,
it is great.
It sounds like a great way to keep the kids inside and
Yeah.
have a great place to hang out after prom.
Yeah, and there's tons of things to do for anybody. You don't just have to want to play a bunch of games. We have bingo, and there's casino games, and they have all kinds of different things.
That's really cool, and that's
yeah.
a great. That just seems like an incredible program. A great way for the kids to have somewhere to be afterwards, safe environment. I could not think of a better way for an after prom party than something like that. So
Yeah, exactly.
awesome. Well, thanks so much for helping with that. Thanks so much for bringing Muscabus to my attention here. I'm really excited. I wish that I had cause to use it, because I live just down the road and I'm in at a weird hour in the morning, so I don't think I'd ever be able to catch it. Maybe on the weekend I'd try and catch it.
Yeah,
And now,
you should try it sometime.
if somebody, I don't have any shuttle passes. What is it when you get on the or not shuttle passes, but tickets?
Like a ticket.
Yeah.
So it is $1 a ride. I should have told you
Okay.
that earlier. Yeah. Per ride. So if you don't want to carry cash with you, you can buy tickets. You can get 12 sheets for $12.
Okay.
The shuttle bus is $2 a ride, and we also offer tickets for that. It's 12 tickets for $24.
Okay. So it's only $1 to ride the.
Yep, just $1.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So you could get on at oh no, I've already forgotten the lines. If you got on the red line and you wanted to ride the full route, like if you needed to go just all the way around, it's just $1?
Yes.
To be on there that whole time?
And
Wow.
if you need to transfer buses, there's no fee to transfer.
Really?
Yeah. so
Okay. Well,
it's good.
what is the transfer? We've still got a few minutes here. I'm sorry.
Okay.
does the transfer look like? What's it look like to get from one bus to the other?
They all are just lined up in front of City Hall. So you just, you would just get off one bus and go right to the other. So
as they make their loop through town, they all come back to City Hall intermittently through the day and park at about the same time.
So like if somebody's by the Y and they want to get to Walmart, they would have to ride downtown on the yellow bus, transfer to either the blue or the red, depending on what's going to the mall. And then they would transfer again to the green bus to get to Walmart.
Okay.
And so, going from bus to bus is what we consider a transfer, and that there's no fee for that.
Well, that's awesome.
There's also, if you would ride a lot on the routes, we have a monthly pass that's $32, and they can ride unlimited.
Indefinitely. If you need it, you just show the pass when you get on.
Yes.
Very cool. Mm-hmm. Very cool. Well, Amy, thanks so much for joining us this morning. This has been a real pleasure, and it's been interesting to hear a little bit more about Muscabus, because I didn't know too much about it. So.
Well, thank you for having me.
It was a real pleasure. Amy Fortenbacher here on Moving Forward on AM 860 and FM 95.1 KWPC and the Voice of Muscatine. Thanks for joining us this morning.
This has been Moving Forward on KWPC, AM 860, FM 95.1, the voice of Muscatine. Moving Forward is brought to you by MPW Digital TV and Mocklink Internet, a designated Blue Zones worksite. Browse to mpw.org. And remember, Moving Forward, local guests making good things happen in the community. Weekdays at 8:15.